Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. And, yeah, a little bit of Schenker brewing back up in his piece in the form of their Emerald Gardens. This is their IPA. It's coming in at 6.2% alcohol by volume. And it says Emerald Gardens is an American IPA series brewed with Pilsner malt, white wheat, flaked wheat, and hopped solely with freestyle hops from New Zealand. This iteration features Nelson Sauvin Motueka and the new Nelson Sauvin Sub-Zero Hop Keef. They changed to Julian dates on here. We have a 23-29-9, which I assume is a 299th day of 2023, which would make this from October. So just a bit over a month and a half old. Yeah, I haven't had this beer before. That's what their labels look like, pretty much across the board. Let's see what's what. Hopefully everything sounds okay. I am rearranged, or I have rearranged my whole setup here. Probably doesn't look all that much different to y'all. But man, I got a new monitor, shifted everything around, so hopefully everything looks halfway decent. Like I said, label-wise, I'm game. I can get down with it. I'm kind of... It has like an old school vibe to it, but I believe that's what the brewery's going for. And as far as the beer goes, it looks all the part of a really nice, well done hazy. Has a touch darker than what you'd expect from a New England style haze, but it has this rich kind of butternut squashy kind of glow to it, with a little bit denser of an orange core to it, and it has this really nice, pretty, fluffy, creamy white head to it. So yeah, let's even get a nose. Man, that smells really good. Very much kind of just rich, ripened tropical fruits here. You're talking about not oversweetened. I was going to say oversweetened. I think that does the beer a little bit dirty. A big sweetness to it that comes off slightly confectionery. I think like just dipping a little toe into a little bit of Orange Julius kind of vibes to it when it comes away. The fruit portion of the show comes off, so a little bit of confectionery sweetened kind of tropical fruitiness, and very much kind of your mango, kiwi, that side of things. You're always going to get your citrus in here. You're going to get big pineapple gobs and a nice bright kind of, again, Orange Julius kind of citrus thing going on, but it really is that back and forth between the tropical and citrus that really does it really nice. Comes off like it's going to be a beautifully sweet beer without being overly sweet. Well, I'm curious to see how the bittering kind of comes off this, because, me just knowing, Motueka and a lot of these New Zealand hops, when they originally came around, they did have quite a bit of a green component, or more specific, like garlic scallioniness. Not really getting that aromatically. I'm curious to see if that's been bred out completely, but it smells like a really nice, well done IPA. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. That's pretty darn good, man. Beautiful mouthfeel. Ultra soft pillowiness. Just this silky, pillowy, just lush kind of mouthfeel to it. It just sets the stage for what you want in a beer like this. There is this nice sweetness to it. Again, it has this soft little confectionery thing, almost like they dropped a dollop of lactose in there. That's not the case in here. They talked about their, the white wheat and flaked wheat. That's where you're getting that mouthfeel from. And then, but it has that little touch of that little confectionery sweetness, which I think just adds so much to the beer. It rounds those edges of sweetness. So it takes your hazy and kind of gives that little bit of softness that most people, I shouldn't say everybody, really dig. And then there is this fluttering greenness in there. You can tell there was a history to this hop where it did have this little garlicky thing. It did have this little scalliony thing going on. It's kind of peeking through a touch, but it's not really there anymore. But you do have this nice bittering counterbalancing off those big, beautiful, bursting, rich, sweet, delicious tropical fruit / Orange Julius-esque kind of citrus fruits in there. It's really, really, really good. Like, really good. And just the way you get those little drips and drabs of those ranky New Zealand from hops past it. You can breathe that out of there, but there's still going to be a little of that in its core DNA. And it comes down to how the beer's brewed too also. I like that. I like that it still has a little bit of mean mug and funk to it. It's not mean mug and funk. It's not super in your face as a 1, 2, or even third calling card per hop trait there, but it's still kind of floating in the background. So you know the DNA again. The DNA is still there. This is a really, really well done hazy. Like really well done. Like really well done. Like one of the best ones I've had in a very long time. Absolute 100% Mount Rushmore status for me. Think about it, 2 months old. So these beers can be shelf stable. I mean, not that 2 months is a testament to shelf stability. For some breweries it would be, but a lot of people kind of look at a beer in 2 months old and go, I think I'll pass. I wouldn't pass on this, especially at this age. Very tasty beer, very well done. And honestly, just as far as New England style hazies go, especially ones that is leaning heavily into New Zealand level hops, by far and away one of the best ones I've had, period, end of sentence. Done and done. So, one of the better ones I've had as late, yes, Mount Rushmore status, yes. Emphatic. Value availability, I want to say $16.99 off the shelf locally. Can't hate on that. I know their drops are sporadic, but I do know that they're one of the very few breweries that they're at a 12% beer project, so it gets a decent distribution footprint, but they pick and choose where their stuff goes, it seems like. But they do post like specifically where each beer can be found when it's released, which I think is a really great thing. So if you're looking for the beers, just follow them on Instagram. They always have that stuff up there. And I'll leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like really well done New England style haze, and you're really a fan of New Zealand style hops. Again, you're not going to get that old school scalliony, ranky, garlicky, but there is hints of it there. But in the grand scheme of things, awesome hazy, really well done. Schenker, have you had their beers? Have you had this beer? Have you had the other iterations of it? I'm really curious to see whether this one, how different it is from the other ones, and also how it stands up to the other ones, and whether it's your favorite. I'm really curious about that. Have you gone up to 12%, drank their beers there, the whole 9? Have you been to the old, why am I spacing on the old brewery? Schenker Brewing Company used to be a brewery in Brooklyn for some reason. Folk beer. Jesus Christ. It was one of my favorite brews. I don't know. Have you been to the old spot? Have you drank their new beers? What's your thoughts? All that fun stuff down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little Schenker goodness right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.